Coaches, how are you all doing tonight? Doing well?
Doing good.
And doing well.
We're good, Billy. Thanks for having us.
Good.
I'm always great. It's time to talk Cleveland State athletics. Let's do it.
Are there any balls for the girls to use? Are they all behind you? Anybody able to shoot in the gym, or you stole them all?
Yeah, I'm a collector of basketballs.
I see that. That means you've done enough good things, huh?
My decorations aren't as cool as yours.
Well, I had some art projects today, so don't judge me.
Well, thank you again, coaches, for hopping on tonight. And this first question that goes to the group. Coaches, you all have had great success here at Cleveland State. With that being said, what's been your favorite Cleveland State coaching moment? And we'll go with Coach K first.
Beating Wright State to go to the conference tournament semifinals in Indianapolis, and just kind of the culmination of our 2 years of getting to that moment. We certainly knew that we had that in us. We just had to go out and prove it. We had competed with Wright State, who's perennial top team in the league, and we just hadn't been able to get over the hump. So to beat them, that was by far my personal moment. I think if you ask our players, that was certainly a moment too. I told one of them at the end of it, I said, they were celebrating on the court, and I said, make sure you act like you've been here before. And they were quick to tell me, Coach, we've never been here before. So it was a pretty special moment for us, and we certainly want to build off of that going into this year.
That's great. Thank you, Coach. How about you, Coach Contrascier?
So it would be 2018. We had never won a conference tournament game in the small years that we've been around as a program. And not only did we make it, we had a first-round bye, and then beating Detroit to go to the conference championship in 2018 was easily the highlight of my time here so far.
Great, thank you. What about you, Coach Etzkin?
Well, there's been I was thinking about this question a little bit as the others were talking, and there's been some great moments since I've been here. And I was thinking a lot about our championship in 2013, and there's probably some equal moments to it, but this one was a lot of fun. We were down, and then we were up, and then we were down, and our guy, remember Nicholas Johnson, had the deciding point and came back from what seemed to be out of it for sure, and came back and won the match. And just how much fun it was to run onto the court. And Chris, we didn't act like we'd been there before that day. We all jumped up and down like children, and it was an awesome moment. But those moments where you get to experience a championship, or just a moment that's fun and you get to jump up and down. You don't get that in any other profession. And as a player on the team, those moments will be the moments they take on forever, because in the real world, you don't get those kind of moments.
I want to know how he was able to pick one. Just look at his ring case, right?
There's another segment.
I was going to put my rings on the wall behind me like those basketballs.
Well, thank you, Coach. And finally, Coach German, how about you?
Yeah, I think we haven't gotten to the conference championship stuff, but the first game in program history back in early February 2017 was, Coach talked about the culmination of 2 years of what he was building. And, that moment, as we walked from the locker room to the field and into our, onto Krensler in the bubble to play Michigan, was the culmination of, almost 2 years of, we showed up to Cleveland State and there was no lacrosse players here, and we had no goals, no balls, no nothing. And then, a short time later, we're walking into a packed bubble against Michigan. There was a lot of emotions that day, and we went up 1-0, and it might as well have been the national championship. I don't know what the final score was; it doesn't matter. But that moment of walking across campus and into the bubble that day was definitely something I'll never forget.
That's awesome, Coach. That actually kind of leads me into the individual questions for you. Lacrosse, like you mentioned, it's a fairly new program here at Cleveland State. And you just had your first senior class graduate, so congratulations on that. Now, with that being said, what kind of opportunity does it provide for them that they can now be ambassadors for this lacrosse program moving forward?
Yeah, it's huge, and those guys will carry that with them forever, right? They'll always be the first class to graduate, from a lacrosse perspective from Cleveland State, so they can carry that with a lot of pride. And I think what they can use it as is they can tell that story over and over again, right? They were they were at the beginning, they were at the foundation of building this thing. And so when these guys get out into the community, or they get out into job interviews, right, they have a story to tell. And it's one that, if there was somebody who's interested in lacrosse or just sports in general, it's something that they can connect with. Or if it's somebody that's, starting a company from the ground up, they can connect with that. And so, hopefully they can take some of the lessons and the highs and the lows, and some of that, some of those experiences we had, and use it in all facets of their life. And I know they will.
That's great, Coach. Thank you. Let's move on now to a Coach Contrascier. Coach, so you are the assistant coach on our women's soccer team, plus an assistant coach / goalkeeper coach, our men's program. So what's it like, and how's it been to be part of both programs?
It's been pretty awesome. I mean, being able to kind of contribute on both sides is a good opportunity to be able to help both programs. I mean, being full time with the women's staff and being under Dallas, the head coach is amazing. He's been a great mentor towards me, and I've been able to kind of grow and learn from him since I've been here, way back in just being the goalkeeper coach on the women's team. And then when Sanisha asked me to come help out on the goalkeeper side on the men's program, if the hours worked out, I was going to be able to do it. And luckily, being able to make everything work out and kind of help both programs has been great. I'm really close with the goalkeepers and the rest of the guys on the men's staff and the men's players, and being able to kind of do double duty. I've only once been able to do both games in the same day. I was at IUPUI. Luckily, we played a doubleheader at IUPUI last year, so that was a long day for me. But it's been good. There's a good group of guys on the men's side, great group of girls on the women's side, and both are led by extremely well-rounded people. Both staffs are great. I couldn't ask for anybody better as bosses with Sanisha and Dallas. So it's an amazing, and to be honest, not many bosses would have let me try to attempt to do both. The fact that Dallas allows me to do both and Sanisha kind of allows me to work around my schedule, it's been tremendous, and I can only thank them for the opportunity to be able to do that.
That's awesome. Thank you, Coach, for sharing. Coach Kielsmeier, your team had a tremendous season last year. So how do you carry that over into this season and then hopefully improve on that performance?
Well, I think a lot of it starts with, managing what we've had to go through over the last 7 months. The words that we've tried to surround our program with is adjust, adapt, overcome, and ultimately conquer. And, we're being tested right now as coaches, players, really just humans, just throw the athletic piece out of it. We're being challenged. So I think the first thing is you got to manage everything that's going on in the world with the pandemic, and make sure that, you're putting yourself in a position to be in a great place as a student, first and foremost, long before you get to the gym. And when you get to the gym, you just got to value those times that you're there together with each other and really make the most of the opportunities to try to get better. But, it's championship games aren't won on game days. They're won long before that with the prep and everything that goes into it. And it's just about a way of life. It's how you go about doing things from the day you get up, from the time you get up each and every morning to the time you go to sleep. What do you get accomplished? And, you've got to have a plan. You got to be focused, and you got to go out and really execute that plan. I'm proud of what our players done. And this is certainly a big year for us.
Well, Coach, basketball season's right around the corner, and best of luck to your team moving forward. I'm excited to watch you all play.
I was really enjoying this call until you had to tell me basketball is right around the corner. Like, geez, Louise.
My bad, Coach.
I need more time.
Right. Oh, and finally, Coach Etzkin. Again, last but certainly not least, your team has won back-to-back Horizon League titles and has finished as a top team in the region for the last few years. So what's the most important part of putting together a championship team and then being able to sustain that level of play over the years?
Yeah, thanks. A good question. Thanks for having us all tonight on this panel. You need there's a couple things that go into it. And one are you need players who are going to work hard and players who are going to get along. And I think those are the two biggest things you need from your players. It's work to get along, and it's work to come to practice every day and work hard and not take days off. So I think that's number one. Two, a supportive administration. Over the years, the better we've done, the more and more support we've gotten little by little over the years. So we've been able to keep building, and we haven't become stagnant. And also, like our alumni and our supporters, I think it's huge that they stay involved. And I think you heard earlier from Coach Victoria Bensman from who's coaching with the women, is that having that indoor facility and being able to pack the house now and being able to play in front of fans, it just gives it new life. And lastly, just finding new goals to shoot for. And it's been a fun ride, but we felt like COVID took a championship from us this last year, and we're going to come back strong and get one this year.
Awesome. Well, thank you, Coach. And I hear we have time for one more question, but I'm not going to ask about the restaurants. I would love to know, if you could coach another sport, what would it be? Coach or play another sport, what would it be? And I saw Coach German unmuted himself, so we'll start with Coach German. I'm excited.
Yeah, I think let me think. Coach Etzkin's got a pretty good. Coach Weir's got a pretty good from the golf perspective. But maybe taking Coach Gates's gig, right? He's got he gets the coach inside, and he gets nice cushy environments, and he's got nice suits, and he's got an army of people with him to help assist him, and he's got the best so yeah, I think it'd be pretty good to be Coach Gates.
All right. How about you, Coach Etzkin?
I've been watching a lot of soccer lately because my son's been playing soccer and enjoying that a lot. So that's one choice. But I think what I would do is resurrect baseball and become a baseball coach. I'm a baseball fan at heart, and I love being around the ball field.
Awesome. Coach Kielsmeier?
I guess I'd have to choose at this point in time in my career, who wouldn't want to be a scratch golfer, right? Like, I try to keep up with Renee. I hear she's pretty good.
I hear she's a fantastic golfer too. I hear she had a nice game last week.
That's what I hear.
Finally, Coach Contrascier, how about you?
I would definitely do basketball. A lot of the movement patterns that you get from basketball, and we have a lot of success with turning basketball players at young ages into soccer players when they get older, because the movement patterns are very similar. The way that the plays are drawn up, we don't necessarily have plays in soccer, but if you really know what you're looking for in a basketball game, the amount of practice that goes into what they're trying to do, and the coordination and the everything in terms of the way it's choreographed is very much indoor soccer, hockey-ish. So instead of just following the ball, watching people off the ball, watch the off-ball movement, I think basketball would definitely be what I would look to do.
Listen to that. He sounds like he's got time for a third sport on campus. Come on over, Coach.
There it is. Well, coaches, thank you all so much for participating tonight. To the four of you, to all of our coaches who participated in this roundtable, and thank you to the fans who tuned in, submitted questions. And as always, like I said, for even more green and white content, check us out online at csuvikings.com or on social media at CSU_athletics. Go Vikes.